Oh, we're live. Hey, this is 45th Foo episode 55.
Five. You
And-
high five.
Okay, we have Jeremy here with us.
You may have recognized him from previous episode where we worked on the plank.
Right.
And if not, check it out.
He has an amazing
A
shirt.
lot was
amazing
revealed
shirt.
in
Amazing
that
shirt
episode.
on today, by the way. So here's the question for you.
Mm.
What is the best position to be in all day?
Let's see, I've known you for a long time. I hear you say all the time, it is the next position. What do I win?
You win watching Jeremy do some cool stuff later.
Alright.
So the point is that you really shouldn't be in the same position for a long period of time. That includes sitting, that includes just standing the whole time. And that includes what Jeremy is here for. He is unfortunately a very handy person, and he's going to help us do some stuff under the sink, and he's going to be on his back. He's also not a tiny man.
Yes. And we have an unusually small under the sink cabinet. So we thought it would be great to bring Jeremy over so we could have another sporty food with you guys. Yeah, it's like a death trap under there, honestly.
One of the largest humans we know.
Tune in next week to make sure that Jeremy made it out okay after this episode. But basically, this is about Sizzying because we realize you're also like, what are you by day? I don't know. You're obviously
engineer.
Yeah, so like you still, yeah. So we find that many of our students and
Right, Jeremy's not a football player.
yeah,
He's actually
he could have been a football player, but he's actually a computer guy, right? So we hear a lot. Well, I have to sit all day, and that's just the way it is. And I'm like, you know what? We should do like a little 1, 2, 3, like 3 really easy things you can do. Super easy while you're at the office. So some of you work at home. He does at home. Some of you work like in, what do you guys work in, cubicles? Is that still a thing? Yeah.
Some people have their own office.
Yeah, and so if you have your like.
But you know what? What we're about to do, we don't need space. Let's just go ahead.
Yeah. So if you're like big time,
first thing you do, you've been sitting down all day. Jeremy, get down on the floor. Let's knock out some push-ups. Let's go. Let's knock out those push-ups. Knock them out. Yeah, really fast. You want to see power. Pop them out. Keep going. Keep going. Right. Give them a little bit of push. Right. Now jump up, real quick. Now do some squats. Let me get 5 squats.
Yeah, it's really good some blood flowing.
Yeah, get that blood flowing.
Yeah.
Good. 4, 5. Now let's get those knees up. Let's start running. Keep running. All right, just keep going. So that's don't stop running. Okay. If you don't want to look like a psychopath.
Or really, like you had too much caffeine, or like took like 10 of those, 12-hour energy drinks, 5 hours.
Okay, realistically, that's not necessary. You could do that.
You could.
Do that. But you're not going to do that all day, are you?
I had an opposite in there, but it'd be weird.
You gonna look at you, buddy?
Oh, I'm big. It probably boom, 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 boom.
They probably think it's an earthquake or something. Like, what's happening?
Okay.
All right. So if you don't want to disturb, look, if you're home, you can do stuff. But if you don't want to disturb the work environment, here's a few other ideas.
Okay. So listen, you could do push-ups and squats. It actually
few,
is a good idea.
There's a few different scenarios. One is the standard desk chair.
Okay. So, for example, we're sitting down all day. What's the position that you kind of like catch yourself in? Right. So if you do, the best thing probably to do if you find yourself that you've been sitting for a long time is to stand up and take a few deep breaths. So we're not going to go through our decompression breathing tutorial.
No, because we did 3 weeks of this, man.
Just remember, get in a good neck position, breathe, and then look back at it.
So get out of the chair because your best position is the next position.
Bam, next position. And then Jeremy / Vanna White will demonstrate the standing desk position. Now here's the challenge with standing desk is that, have you ever had a standing desk before? Is standing too long is also not good. So I suggest if you have someone, see how we have that thing, you can put your foot on top, is find different positions even from standing that you can get in. So, switching up with having one foot up, then the other foot up, then going back down to your sitting desk.
I had a high chair as well, so I would sit some a little bit, stand.
Perfect.
I doing kung fu, I even stretch sometimes. I put my leg up on something and stretch
See?
like that.
You see?
Look at this guy.
Yeah, you guys thought we were being weird. No,
This guy knows what he's doing. See? So there's different options, but the important thing, because I learned this when I first read it, I was like, oh, sitting is the new cancer or smoking, right? And so I started standing for long periods of time, and hours would go by, and I'm like, holy crap, my back is killing me.
Other than just sit, stand, like he's at his desk, but maybe he's super focused because he's about to solve world hunger from his software engineering app that he's building. What would you say is something he could just do for just like a real quick thing other than the breathing? Is there
Yeah.
something like while he's standing so he doesn't have to really break away? Because some people are like, well, I don't have time to get up and do like a 2-minute thing.
I mean, my first thought is always take a deep breath, right? Because you can do that if you want. If you can do that if you want. But also it kind of like, it's a nice reset. But as far as head position, you can continue working and do the same type of cues that we talk about, making the back of the neck long. And so from where you're at, if you just look up and then find that kind of bony part of the back of your head and pull that up and away and kind of tuck your chin back while setting the shoulders down, it feels a little awkward, but if you're hanging out like this too much, it's the same.
So show us on Jeremy.
Yeah, so let's say Jeremy had his chin jetted out forward, jetted forward like you're watching, you're on the computer.
You're typing.
Head drooping forward, shoulders rounded, right? There you go. Every inch of your head that's forward is 10 plus pounds of stress on the neck. And so the first thing I would say is look up and then drive the back part of your head up and back. So he's actually got good posture. Good job, Jeremy. And then the other thing is when we talk about having good posture in the shoulders and the back, you don't want to pinch the shoulder blades together. So go ahead and do like this, like bro it out, bro. Yeah, bam. This is actually not good for you. So what's better is that deep breath that kind of expands and elevates. And yeah, it's always good to have a big guy next to you to make you look small. So that's an option is the first thing. The second thing is we talked about is getting the foot, different foot positions. And then if you can start doing some kind of neck nods. Like I'm a big fan of while working, taking a couple of reps of moving and kind of the neck in different positions.
Is there a certain number? Is it just like even it out though, right? You're looking to the left or the right.
Here's the truth, right? Is what the hell are you actually going to do? That's going to be the best number. Like if I were to say, hey, do 20 reps, and you're like, oh, 20 is too much. I'm not going to do any. Whatever number you do is better than 0.
So, but you said that you've had the sitting desk, you've had the standing desk, and I know that because we actually do coach Jeremy. Like, is there something that has been beneficial for you while you're at work? Like that you feel like you can still keep working and not break away and do your full squat, push up, running position.
Real life case study.
I think like you said, just getting up and going to the next, not staying in that one position. So, so you gotta go talk to somebody or something like get up and go.
Make friends, everyone.
Get some water.
Make new friends.
Make friends. I think that's really that's what we're all about.
Yeah, friends.
Yeah,
but
friendship.
The standing does take some commitment because it takes the first few weeks or so. You're feeling it and you're standing. Like if you're not standing, I was doing this too much. I think too.
So I'm actually glad that you brought that up. So what happens is because we spend a lot of time sitting down, these muscles here get very tight, and our butt is also just like not even able to squeeze. So we stand up, and our legs may be locked out, but we're not extending our hips, but we're kind of extending our low back. So we're kind of just standing, but we're cranking on the low back, and it gets a little bit tired. So just remember that when you stand, not that you gotta like do full butt squeeze, right? But your butt is what extends your hips, and we don't want to be hyperextended from the low back. So this is where, again, and I hate to kind of reiterate this whole decompression breathing and our whole breathing tutorial and our 3 episodes of starting from the baseline, you understanding what a good baseline position is super important. And then remember also that you can't hold that forever. So even if you're in a good position, it's still unreasonable and probably not even good for you to hold that indefinitely. Go find a friend to talk to, move around. The breathing is really important. And some stretches that you can do without looking like a complete
without putting your leg up on the desk
weirdo is because we sit down a lot is having something to hold on to. So let's have Jeremy do it. He's going to hold on to the desk for support. He's going to grab his right ankle, and he's going to try not to crank on the leg and drive it this way, but try to get as straight as he can. So the knee is driving straight down, and he's going to squeeze his butt to drive his hip forward. Where do you feel it?
Here more, man.
Oh, I was gonna say that's not your calf. Yeah, his quads. Yeah, good. So listen, the guy's a brilliant guy. Anatomy's not his thing. That's no problem. Okay, we're not gonna.
But he's gonna fix the sink, so that's all that matters.
Except here.
So the front part of the body that gets tight, he's stretching. So that's one. Okay. Number 2 is since we're kind of in this rounded position, a standing desk is actually really awesome, as long as you don't crush your computer. But put your elbows on the desk and walk yourself back away. So you create some space here. There you go. And now take a big breath deep into the ribs here. And as you exhale, don't headbutt the table. So you might have to inch back a little bit more. But try to get your body to go down a little bit. Good. Keep your abs braced. And do you feel a stretch here?
Not there so much.
Pecs?
My legs are too tight.
Oh, his legs are very tight. So for me, anyway, he's actually got good posture. So this is not tight for him. His hamstrings are tighter, but he's getting a hamstring stretch, which is also good. But this is a nice way to kind of open this up. What we want is to get a little bit more mobility up here in the thoracic spine. So go ahead and put your hands together like this and do this and try to place them on your shoulders. So reach back. There you go. Do you feel something different there? Anything else?
My arms now.
Triceps maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, so all of that gets shortened. So those are 2 easy stretches that you can do if you have a standing desk. Mm-hmm. All right, you can hang out there if you want.
Or if you have like a friend that you ended up talking to, and then you're like, hey, I need to.
Yeah, right. You say, hey, friend, and they're hands here.
Or you get on a cube wall, right?
Yeah, a cube wall. Actually, you know what? That's actually a really good idea. So, again, you're trying to find positions where you are tight, and normally, because we sit, all the tissues in the front get tight, they get stretched, they creep into a shortened position, and the tissues in the back creep up into a long position. So what we want to usually do to get us out of that when we're sitting is find some kind of stretch for the front tissues, right, what we were just doing, and then something to kind of squeeze and strengthen the back. Standing with good posture, decompression breathing, things like that will counteract the effects of sitting.
Okay, any thoughts on the stability ball? A lot of people like to have this in their office these days.
Stability ball, again, another thing that's just going to add a little bit of variety to your sitting. So you can't really completely sit still forever. Mm-hmm. You have just the ability to bounce is something that's good. You're kind of moving around is also good. But if you're there for 2 hours straight, that's also probably not going to be good for you.
Because you are not in the next position.
Correct. What I will say is I'm going to use me as an example with her desk. Her chair. So you can have a seat here. Come on down, have a seat.
No, I don't mind if I do.
When it comes to, now, again, I've said this probably 100 times on this thing, is she has really good posture just because of genetics. Both of her parents have good posture and years of doing Kung Fu. But a really good thing to do is if you can't get away from your desk because you're working but you're starting to feel all that tension, is to sneak up a little bit your butt closer to the front, and that way it almost forces you to have a straight back. If you just creep and just stay on your, with your butt at the end of the chair, your low back kind of rounded forward, you got this forward head posture, is going to be easier to quote unquote be relaxed, but you're kind of putting stress on some of the tissues. If I have you kind of scoot forward a little bit more, one more time, where you were before, you get 90 degrees here, which allows her to put force into the ground with her feet, and then allows her to do what? Breathe to get herself in a better position. It's much harder to do that type of breathing and get yourself in a good position if you're kind of relaxed here. But if by sitting on literally your butt bones, you're able to kind of sit up a little bit better. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yep. So recap.
Okay, cool, thanks. Yeah, so the recap is, best position is?
Next position.
Right, so try to find every 20 to 30 minutes, if you can, some other position to be in. If you really can't get yourself away, then try to reset and put yourself in a better position where you're at.
By doing?
Stretches, moves.
Breathing. Pop quiz, hot shot.
But stretches you would actually naturally breathe. You're not going to like hold your breath while you do it. So that's exactly right.
But intentional breathing. Take an intentional breath where you're able to. And here's the other benefit of breathing. It's repetitive, but it brings you down that sympathetic tone and it allows you to kind of focus better. Mm-hmm. You're not like in this high tense situation. But then standing up and getting a little bit of stretching done. We want to stretch the front part of the body usually. We want to strengthen the back part of the body usually, not all the time. And then if you find yourself standing, find different positions to be in. Mm-hmm. If you find yourself sitting, try to put yourself in the best position to sit in. But the main goal, if we could wrap this up in a bow, it's all about friends.
Friends that will come
with
over
that being said,
and help you fix your
let me show you one other thing.
Not stay in one position, obviously. So thank you guys for joining us on 4Z Fit Food.
These are
Make sure you
these are Jeremy's.
Make
Sorry.
sure you subscribe.
These are Jeremy's tools.
And every Tuesday.
And he's gonna demo good suitcase deadlifting technique on his way to the kitchen. So knock out 5 suitcase deadlifts. 1, 2. Okay. Again, it's all about friends.
Yeah, I feel sorry for our friends. But it is what it is. So thank you guys for joining us on 14 Foot Poo. We're here every Tuesday at 7:45. If you have questions, comments, concerns, ideas, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll just keep torturing Jeremy. And if you want us to do that, let us know. Thanks, guys.
Thanks
See you
for
next
watching.
week.
Bye.